It began in the unlikeliest of places, a small server in the National Health Service of the United Kingdom. And within hours, it had spread like a digital plague across the globe, locking up computers in hospitals, banks, and even the delivery systems of a major automotive manufacturer. The WannaCry ransomware attack of May 12, 2017, was the largest cyber attack of its kind, a global digital blackout that exposed the profound vulnerabilities of our interconnected world and the terrifying power of leaked government weapons. The weapon at the heart of the attack was EternalBlue, a highly sophisticated exploit that had been developed by the United States National Security Agency. EternalBlue took advantage of a flaw in the Windows operating system, specifically in the server message block protocol, allowing hackers to remotely execute code on unpatched computers without any user interaction. The exploit was one of the NSA's most prized tools, a digital skeleton key that could open any Microsoft machine, granting the user complete control over the target system. It was kept secret for years, a closely guarded asset in the agency's cyber arsenal. That secrecy was shattered in April of 2017, when a group of hackers known as the Shadow Brokers leaked the tool to the public. The leak was a monumental breach of national security, a betrayal of the highest order, and it handed a devastating weapon to anyone with the technical knowledge to use it. Microsoft had already released a patch to fix the flaw, the critical update MS-17010, but the patch had not been widely deployed. Millions of computers around the world, particularly in older, underfunded systems, were still running unpatched versions of Windows, leaving them wide open to exploitation. The WannaCry hackers used this exploit to launch a ransomware campaign. Ransomware is a type of malware that encrypts a computer's files, making them inaccessible and demand a payment, usually in Bitcoin, to unlock them. WannaCry was a worm, a self-propagating piece of code that could spread from computer to computer without any human interaction. It didn't need a user to click on a phishing link. It could scan the internet for vulnerable machines and infect them automatically. The attack was unleashed on a Friday morning in Europe, a time when many IT departments were understaffed. The NHS was hit first. Hospitals across the United Kingdom were forced to shut down their systems. Ambulances were diverted, surgeries were postponed, and patient records became inaccessible. Doctors were forced to use pen and paper. Cancer patients were turned away. The attack quickly spread across the globe. In Spain, the telecom giant Telefónica was hit. In the United States, FedEx and the automotive manufacturer Renault were affected. In China, thousands of computers were infected, affecting universities, government agencies, and businesses. The attack targeted over 200,000 computers in 150 countries in a single day. The speed and scale of the infection were unprecedented. The hackers demanded a ransom of $300 per machine, payable in Bitcoin, with a warning that the price would double after a certain period. The global economy was at a standstill. The spread of the virus was eventually halted by a young British security researcher named Marcus Hutchins, who accidentally discovered a kill switch in the code. He found a hidden domain name embedded in the malware. He registered the domain for $8, and the ransomware, checking if the domain was active, would stop encrypting files to avoid detection. The discovery was a stroke of pure luck, a moment of serendipity that saved the world from a far worse catastrophe. The threat was neutralized, but the damage was done. The attack had cost the global economy billions of dollars in lost productivity and recovery efforts. The NHS alone spent over £90 million dealing with the aftermath. The WannaCry attack was a wake-up call. It showed that governments cannot hoard digital weapons without risking a global crisis. The NSA had developed a weapon that had been stolen and turned against the world. The attack also revealed the chilling truth about the Internet of Things. We are building a world that is profoundly insecure. The vulnerability, the EternalBlue exploit, had existed for months, and the patch had been available for weeks, but the sheer scale of the unpatched systems was staggering. The WannaCry ransomware attack was a warning shot, a preview of a future where the threat of digital violence is as real and as terrifying as a nuclear weapon. It forced governments and corporations to rethink their cybersecurity strategies, to invest in patching, and to treat cyber threats with the same seriousness as physical threats. The United States eventually blamed North Korea for the attack, specifically the Lazarus Group, a state-sponsored hacking unit. The WannaCry attack was a watershed moment, a turning point in the history of cyber conflict. It showed that the line between cybercrime and cyberwar is increasingly blurred, and that the actions of a few hackers can cripple the infrastructure of nations.